Alright, I'm back. Alright, so I was just doing things, setting up the stream, trying new things out. Looks like I'm dropping like a whole bunch of frames, so I don't know if it's coming through or not, but we'll just see a few seconds ago. 79% frames drop. Yeah, looks like our internet stream is just not up to snuff. Yeah, it's just dropping up and down a lot. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can fix that really quick. No, it looks like everything's good. I mean, I don't see any way to fix it. Yeah, well, we're just gonna have to live with that. So let's just jump right into it. So I wanted to show you the other mallows. You know, the other renders. Oh no, I can't. Shoot. Yeah. So I the last stream I pressed render, and as soon as I did, the stream got cut off because I can't stream and do a full scale render at the same time. So that's just not going to be possible from now on. So I'm just going to have to render inside the editor, and then after I'm done streaming, I'm just going to have to render after I'm done streaming, you know. But today we're going to create some jellyfish because jellyfish are funny. And I was wanting to do some underwater scenes. I thought underwater scene would be really cool. I thought it would be really interesting to do underwater stuff, but otherwise, you know, we're just gonna create a jellyfish. Let's just do that. Let's go ahead and create a box. Shift A. So let's create a box. And so, you know, what does a jellyfish even look like? I really don't know, and I don't really care. I'm just gonna model from my imagination, right? That's what I'm gonna do. It's just all gonna be imagination from here on out. So I don't have to think about what an actual jellyfish even looks like because I don't really care that much. It would probably just ruin my imagination anyways. And as soon as I look at like a reference image, it's just gonna ruin everything. Because then I'm not going to be able to do exactly what the image shows, and basically it's just you know I'm going to get discouraged, and I'm not going to put up with that. So let's go ahead and create the hood of the jellyfish. All right, so let's go up. Let's create a jellyfish, 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 jelly, 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 jelly. Don't be so jelly. Come on, guys. Don't be so jelly. I don't know why you're so jelly all the time. Alright. Let's go ahead and create a modifier subdivision. Let's bump that up to 2 so we can see things. Let's go ahead and create another one of these, but bring it down a bit, and then we're going to go ahead and enlargen this to make it kind of like a jellyfish. We're going to go ahead and select these 4 right there, and then we're going to go ahead and shrink it, and we're going to go ahead and raise it up a bit. I always like to explain what I'm doing even though it's obvious. Anybody new watching this, or if there's anybody watching this at all, just go ahead and just sort of follow along, you know, if you're new to Blender or whatnot. Let's do underwater scenes, and then let's do jellyfish, 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 jelly, 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 jellyfish. Underwater scene, jellyfish, jellyfish. There we go. Okay, and so I wanted to work mostly because the jellyfish is just, you know, just a creature, this funky looking creature. I wanted to focus a lot on the rendering. Here, let's go to cycles. Let's make a new material. Use the nodes. Let's see what we can get away with, because there's translucent and there's transparent, and probably just want to just combine these. Let's see what they look like. Let's create a lamp in here. Let's create a hemi. Let's just do a hemi. I always like hemispheres. Let's save. Let's do, yeah, 100 is fine. Let's do a translucent. Okay, so there we go. And let's create a the world. Let's use nodes. Let's just do like a blue background, like a very. Let's do like a light blue, like this. And let's just go over to the node editor. Let's just get rid of that. Let's just go over to the node editor, and let's create some nodes here. There we go. Node editor. Let's go ahead and zoom on in here. Let's go to the world, because I would like to create world, shader, volume source, and blah blah blah. Input, texture, sky texture. Here we are. Let's create some sort of yeah, color ramp, I guess. I don't know. Not really sure. Yeah. Alright, well, whatever. Let's do GPU acceleration, because I hope it doesn't cut out the stream. But I don't think it should. Stream should be doing pretty well. Let me see. Yeah, 70%. Boy, I'm just dropping frames like crazy. Oh well. I don't know. Maybe it's just a bad internet day for me. Yeah, 100 kilobytes a second, 1200. It's just bouncing up and down, up and down. It must just be a really bad connection day. Yeah, that's probably what it is. Yeah. Oh well. So it's just gonna go ahead and load the kernels. It's gonna take probably a minute to do that. It goes really fast though. I have Radeon 590 or something like that. I have high-end Radeon, a high-end Radeon graphics card, so pretty good. Yeah. Do 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 do. There we go. Okay, there we are. Yeah, see, look at how much faster that is. Yes. Oh my goodness. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to the object at hand. I'm going to go ahead and get a shader and just do a mix shader or an add shader. Let's just add. Let's just do that. Let's go ahead and create a transparent BDF. Let's do that. And let's just connect this one up to this one. And let's just create alpha. 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 Oh, it's loading the kernel still. Okay, it's gotta load the kernel, so it's not working. Oh well, not a problem. Yeah, that's the problem with using Radeon. See, if it was a GeForce graphics card chip, then it would just use the CUDA cores, and it's already streamlined for the CUDA cores. But in the last year, Blender's option for support with the with Radeon and with OpenCL chips or whatever, and but they have to load these render kernels. They have to load them, so we have to just wait. We just have to wait. I guess they only load the kernels that are actually being used. So if I add a transparent kernel or whatnot, one of these little nodes, a transparent node, it would then help me out here. Here we go. Okay, thank you God. Let's make it look like a little blue guy or something. Let's do that, and then we're gonna go ahead and do this. We can go ahead and just make him trying to make him glow here. You know what, let's go ahead and tab into him. Let's go ahead and delete this right here because I don't like this. Yeah, let's just go ahead and delete this Virtus, and let's go ahead and delete no, that's good. Let's go ahead and just do a solidify, because solidify is always one of my favorites. It's always one of my favorites because it just solidifies everything and just creates a nice skin. So let's go ahead and see how that works. Yeah, there we go. Nice thin layer there. Instead of having to do it myself with the solidify, it just does it for me. Yeah, much better. Okay, so what I know about these little creatures is that they sure like to, they have like layers on inside of them. It's really weird. It's really wicked looking creatures. And like they have something like this. And yeah, they just sort of have this weird looking. So let's go ahead and see if transparency, let's see if it's transparent. Okay, so I'm not sure. Let's see if a principled shader works in this stead. So a principled shader is the new shader that supposedly does all sorts of awesome things. Oh, it's loading kernels again. Oh well. So here's transmission. We're gonna go ahead and pump that up. We're gonna go ahead and make it not so rough. We can go ahead and change the multi-scatter GGX, and we got transmission roughness here. We got that one. Let's go ahead and just change this to a slight blue or so, something like that. Yeah, I wasn't really understanding this what was happening here. Let's just move that out of the way. Renders kernels, okay, still doing its thing. Still doing its thing. Yeah, so a whole bunch of frames are being dropped. I don't know what to say, guys. I'm kind of 71% drop frames. Holy cow, 71%. Wow, my internet is just not doing it today. Okay. Wow, I don't even know if the audio's coming through. That's just crazy. It must be that if I'm working with Blender, it just doesn't like to work at the same time. Alright, Loading the kernels. Still loading the kernels, so it's all good. Okay, so principal DDF does not have any kind of shine. Okay, so let's just it doesn't glow, I mean. So let's just go ahead and see if we can get a glow going on here. Where is that? Where is it? Emission. Here we are. And then we're gonna have to do a mix shader. I don't know the difference between add shader and mix shader. I have no idea. I'm still kind of confused about that one. I guess it just adds shader. Maybe I should do a mix shader. Let's try a mix shader. Let's do that. Let's do a mix shader right here. Let's just create a small little glow, and mostly just a glass, sort of a glassy thing going on. I'm not sure. Oh well. Let's just do this. Why is it? It's odd that these two make it glow. It's very odd. Mix shader. Let's do that. Okay, so mix and add. Add shader does something weird. It's a weird. Okay, that's interesting. So mix is doing something odd. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and make this a 1. Let's go to factor. Okay, so in between there would be. So let's go ahead and pick a color. Let's do color. Let's do mix RGB, right? No. Color. I want a color. I just want a color here. RGB curves. Alright. There we go. So it's the same damn color, you know, I don't have to like deal with this shit at all. There we go. There we go. Ah, yes. So there's always these tentacles that come out of you know, one of these things. They always have these like weird flowing tentacles whenever you look at images of them, and they're always really beautiful. You know, they always come out and they're always really nice, and they're always like free flowing and stuff. It's really amazing. Oh, huh. Stream doing good? Stream's doing good, okay. Yeah, that's, huh. August 9th, yeah. Yeah, it's just more of this. Yeah. Yeah, the stream's okay. It's 26 minutes in. Still more drop frames. Lots of drop frames. Huh. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Yeah, so let's go ahead and just keep on creating. Excuse me. Yeah. Do do do. All right, here we go. Yeah, something like that. Sort of like a mushroom shape. Sort of odd. Sort of odd looking. Hmm. I don't know about the render though. The render just looks weird. I mean, it doesn't look like a jellyfish. You know, like jellyfishes are very difficult to pull off because of the rendering. Right, the rendering is always really hard. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at an image of it now, and it's just like is just really like it's just translucent. There's no refraction or anything, but it's just really hard to pull off that type of creature because there's so much happening inside of it. There's just so much there. Wow. Huh. Yeah, I'm just looking at some images on Google, and there's one that's as big as a man. There's a jellyfish the size of a man. It's just giant. Yeah, there's just so many strands. I mean, maybe I can do like a hair rendering or something. Like render a hair. Huh, I don't know. I'm thinking. Huh. Hmm. do 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 do. Let's see here. Do do do. Here. I mean, I have to zoom in really close just to make this thing big enough. Because when it's really small, it's hard to get like a good color. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I have to zoom up just to fucking get it to big enough. Like that, I have to zoom up. See, if you zoom out, what happens is, see how small that is? Like, what the heck? I can't even, yeah. I mean, like, I just want it big. I want to see where my color is at, you know? And I wish I had like a 4K monitor. Oh, that would be awesome. 4K would be so cool. I don't know, guys. I've never been good at organic modeling, you know, or modeling in general. But yeah, this is just I don't know. I can't see. I don't know how to model some crazy looking jellyfish like that. That's just crazy looking. How do you model something like that? How do you even animate it or pose it? This is kind of bizarre. Let's just try that out. Let's try to pose it. Let's create a lattice. You know, I always like lattices. And there we go. There we go. There we go. Alright, that's perfect. Let us get rid of this damn screen here. Let's go ahead and create, oh, I don't know, something like that. 6. Let's apply it to there. No. Okay. Lattice. Strength. Yeah. All right. So the thing about lattices, what I've always liked about them is Yeah, there we go. Stretchy. Was that you have to scale the lattice outwards, and then you're able to. Stretchy, stretchy. Oh yeah. There we go. All right, let's do that. It's like breathing or something. Wah, wah. Lattices are always so much fun to play with. You can get so many different shapes with it. You can just do so many incredible things with a lattice. Breathe, my friend, breathe. Yes, breathe. All right. And you can move it around like this. That's what's cool about a lattice right here. You can actually animate the lattice, and it just sort of looks like a wave going through it. It's like swimming or something. Swim, swimming. We are swimming. There we are. There it is. Get that. It's like swimming. Oh boy. Do 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 do. Oh, I got one viewer. Yeah, we're creating a jellyfish, or just having some fun. You know, trying to make it look good, but generally, it's very difficult to create something that's lifelike. I was just looking at images on the internet, and man, jellyfish, they got a lot of things going on inside of them. They got all sorts of things going on inside. So this may take a while. I might have to double back or something, figure something out. I'm not really sure how to create a lifelike jellyfish inside a blender. It's going to be an interesting problem for the long haul. Usually I just do like cartoony stuff, which is always fun. Everybody likes cartoon work. But man, Yeah, jellyfish are just awesome looking. I mean, I love the jellyfish. I love jellies, but yeah. I mean, how do you create all these strands? There's just so much. There's so much going on with jellyfish. So many things. I mean, it's like, uh, I'm not sure where to even begin on something like that. You know. Excuse me. Ah, well, let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and bring in an image. Jellyfish reference. And we're going to go ahead and bring that in to this project. Yep, save it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and save it. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to bring it in here. Let's just go ahead and file, import, images of plane, references, and it's not here. Oh, that's funny. Oh, save link as. Oops. Save image as. There we go. And now, there we go. Okay, so oops. Oh no. There we go. So now we have this reference. Now we can see it much better. So that's sort of what I'm aiming for. But man, look at all these like ridges and stuff. Like look at all those little details. Like you can't even really technically animate this type of thing. All I can think about would be something like this, right? And then we just move it like that. See how that works? We just go up and down. It just sort of animates. Sort of like this weird looking, goes up and down like that. He just moves around. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, but I'm not sure. I mean, look at all those strands. There's just a whole bunch of them. They're like all wild and crazy. Maybe I should just use a what's it called? Those B splines, you know, like, and just extrude along this spline. You know, what is this? Let's curve. Here it is. Do a, you know, I've never understood what's the Bezier or a path. I always thought they were the same damn thing. I mean, I don't know what the difference is at all. I have no idea. Subdivide, create something like that, like some kind of weird. Yeah, like that, you know? What do you think about that? Here, let's go ahead and let's go ahead and zoom in here. Let's put that about right here, right? So that now let's create a cylinder. Yes, a cylinder. And let's go in here. Let's go ahead and get rid of the face. And then we'll just get rid of that face. So that there's no faces. Yes, no faces. Then we modify it. We go array. And we go curve. Bezier curve. And then we go curve. Where is it? Curve. Here we are. Fit curve. Bezier curve. And then we're going to go ahead and go like this. And we're going to go like this. And we're not going to do that. We're going to go like this. And we go Y. Y. Z. Here we go. Bam. There we go. And then we could animate this start cap, end cap. So we can have like a start and an end. And then what we can do is, where's the motherfucker? Whoops. There it is. Oops. We can actually animate like this using hooks. And it would animate with hooks, right? You can take a hook and then you can just animate with it. You know, if you don't know what a hook is, then prepare to have your mind blown. You are going to have your mind blown with a hook, what a hook can do. Not Captain Hook, okay? We're not talking about Captain Hook here, okay? I know how you guys like to talk about Captain Hook all the damn time. We're going to go and squeeze that in here. We're going to squeeze it down so that there's like a million of them. And we're going to go ahead and do this. So, where is this? Smooth tangents. No. I don't know what that even means. Okay, yeah, whatever. Resolution. I don't know what that means. I don't know what any of this stuff is. Taper object. Curve object name that defines the taper width. Okay. Alright, so many things I don't know about this damn program. Let's just go ahead and close it out. Didn't I make this not? Like I thought by... Let's do this instead. There it goes. Now it's curving better. No? Is it still not curving nice? No, it's kinking up now, see? I was trying to create some way for it to not kink up like this so that it's nice and smooth, but it's just not doing that. I'm not sure why. Oops. Not sure why it's not. I mean, look at that. It's ugly. What is with this fucking? What is with that? Yeah. Okay. It still doesn't. It still doesn't do it right. Huh. Oh yeah. It still kinks it. See, it just acts like it's a kink now. Okay. That's not gonna work for me. There we go. Got it. I was watching this video about oh, what's it called? That Finding Nemo story where Nemo with that octopus Hank, and how like Pixar worked like 2 years on it. They worked 2 whole years just trying to figure out how to rig that little guy, that Hank character. That Hank character was so hard. They said that it was such a hard character to figure out, to rig, because apparently nobody's ever done, at that point nobody had ever done an octopus character, and they said that it was so brand new that that nobody knew how to do it. Nobody knew, because his arms had to like stretch and everything, and bend and twist. I mean, it was like a nightmare. People they just didn't know how to do it, so they spent 2 whole years trying to figure out how to get that done, right? And that's what I guess what I'm trying to do is trying to figure out how to make a jellyfish work. You know, like how do we get a jellyfish to do what I want? You know, like, wow, look at this. This is just crazy. I'm not quite sure, actually. Let's go ahead and do. No, that doesn't seem to do anything. Let's go ahead. Let's do something else. No. Uh, huh. There we go. There we go. Alright, a little bit thinner there. Alright. Huh. Well, that's kind of cool, I guess. I don't know. Sort of neat. Huh. Oh. Yeah, let's just get rid of the emission one because I don't think I need emission because it doesn't look like jellyfish actually emit anything. Like they just seem translucent. They don't seem like they emit. Maybe they have like little parts in them that do emit light, and that's what it looks like. It looks like it's illuminated from within rather than the jellyfish being illuminated themselves. You know, they have parts inside of them that are illuminated. That's probably why I'm not getting the look that I want, is because they they don't actually illuminate on their entire body. So I probably want to create a whole bunch of little parts inside of it in order for it to look like it's a jellyfish, like it's a real jellyfish. Go back to the picture. I mean, if we look at the picture right here, we can see that it sort of does look illuminated, though. It looks like it's illuminated, but not the whole thing. Ah, that's what makes it so odd. Here, let's create a texture. Let's go ahead and create a more there we go. See, I guess I can use a texture to make it so that I can make a texture, and then that texture can determine if it emits or not. So it could just be just one object, a very complex object, but that object has a texture on it that will then determine if there we go. Huh. Huh. Yeah, I would have to create a texture for that object because that looks too good for a procedural texture. Yeah, that'll definitely be a texture that I would have to create by hand. Time is it? We got 58 minutes into the stream. We got 7:17. Oh man, I'm tired. Just walked my dog. Had to come back in. I was all sweating and gross. Where I live, I would have a camera on, but I don't really think it's meaningful. But I have to take my shirt off. See, I can't have a camera on because I got my shirt off, right? And so it's like what is it? You gotta keep the camera off. Gotta keep it off because Twitch rules. Twitch says you have a shirt off. If you got your shirt off, then you can't be streaming. I gotta be thinking about dinner too. I got dinner in a couple hours. 3 hours. No, I got 3 hours. I got lots of time. Oh. Let's see here. Yeah, you know what? Let's just try something else. Let's do something that's unusual. Let me create a Bezier curve. I'm gonna go to a different layer. I'm done with that fucking layer. Let's take this guy. Let's move him to like that layer or something. So let's create a Bezier curve. Let's do that. Let's just get rid of this window. I'm done with this window. And then let's create a mesh. Let's create something really complex here. I just gotta see, I gotta test this idea out that I had. And, you know, we'll like do something like this. And we'll do something like this. And we'll do something like this. Like some weird shapes going on. You know, something like this. And then we're gonna go ahead and put a curve modifier on it. And we're gonna go ahead and put it on the Bezier curve, right? And we're gonna go ahead and stretch this Bezier curve out. Alright, that's interesting. So it does bend it, and it does do kind of weird stuff with it. Okay, let's go ahead and do subdivision surface. Okay, that's interesting to know. See, I never really thought about it. Oops. Oops. Okay. W subdivide. Let's see that. Oh, that's odd. Okay, that's interesting. See, I never knew that. Let's go ahead and move this down. Okay, so there we go. It's negative Z. There we go. Alright, now we're cooking with fire. So the center point of the object is really important to see. I never knew that about these type of objects. Alright, so that's really important. Let's try to. I'm not really sure why it's bending there. Let's see if this helps. Okay, so if I do the subsurface after the curve, so the curve modifier modifies it, and then it does a subsurface on it. That's interesting, huh? That might give me the things that I want, the look that I'm looking for. You know, it might actually. I mean, look at that. Like, it's just bending the shape and everything. Everything's just bending uniquely. You know. Put it on some hooks and Huh. Yeah. Huh. Huh. It gives me some ideas about how to do something. How to do a jellyfish. Because the problem with the jellyfish, like what we've seen here with this image just shows like how. I mean, look at it. I mean, look at that jellyfish. Look at that thing. It's like bending everywhere. There's bends everywhere. Like one idea would be a lattice, right? But lattices don't do that. Lattices are like good little deformers for like animation sequences or something like that, where you have to like really deform something. You know, you have to squish it like really tight, and that's what a lattice is really good for, is doing something like that. I don't even know if anybody even uses lattices very much. You know, I think VeggieTales uses lattices a lot, and I think that, you know, I think that other videos use lattices, but I can't really think of them. Lattices aren't really used very often in anything. I mean, it's generally just deformers and, you know, what's it called, shape keys. You know, they got the shape keys going on like that, but otherwise, let me see if it's recording my mouse movement, because I don't think it's, yeah, it's capturing my cursor. Okay, it's capturing the cursor, but yeah, I think it's capturing my cursor. I'm gonna watch this video again to make sure, because it says it's capturing my cursor. It says it is. Yeah, see, it's capture cursor. It's on. So yeah, that's pretty much a slam dunk that it's definitely capturing my cursor. You know, so I'm just gonna assume that it's capturing my cursor. If it's not, oh well. Wah wah wah. I mean, look at this thing. It's just got all these strands coming out of it. And this is probably why a lot of people don't really render out jellyfish. You know, if you go to like turbo squid and whatnot, there's really not a whole lot of jellyfish. And I think the ones that are on there aren't very realistic. They're not very interesting to look at. This one is pretty cool to look at. Oh, here. I like this jellyfish. This jellyfish is fun to look at. Fun little jellyfish to look at. Huh. Alright, I'm gonna take a sip of water really quick. Just a sip of water. Ain't nothing to it. Alright, my dog is poking me. She's sitting on my lap. Just can't stop poking me. Candy, my little friend. Oh, can't stop poking me. Oh, no. Oh well. Do. Yeah, I think this is gonna take hours and hours to create something like this. I think I have a pretty good idea about how I'm gonna do it. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to create a Bezier curve for each one of these strands here. I'm going to create this bulb and then I'm going to texture paint it. I'm going to create a lot of these little flaps here, create like a lot of polygons so that I can have a whole lot to work with, you know. Paint it, you know, what is it, sculpt all these ridges in it and then texture paint all of this. And then create all these strands coming out of it, right? Texture paint the strands, right? And then create this middle area right here coming out of it. Right here. And create Bezier curves so that each one of these is on a Bezier curve. So I can just curve modify it. Just keep curving it. You know, the whole thing just curved. And create some sort of armature so that I can hook these Bezier curves into the armature so that the bones are the Bezier curves are hooked to the bones. That should probably work, I would think. You know, that's probably the only way I can imagine it working. You know, that I don't think there's any other way to do something like this. It's too complicated of an organism, and it can bend in any number of ways. All scenes, visible layers. There we go. Let's zoom up this guy here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I think that should work for me. I think that I would like that the most. Yeah. I think that should produce some really cool renders if I were to do something like that. I think that should work. It's probably the only way to get it to work is through that, right? I don't see any other way. Maybe a here modifier, like a here particle system. I don't know. Here is a different type of rendering thing. That's for specifically for hairs. I don't think that I would be able to, you know, achieve something unique or or realistic looking in any meaningful sense. Meaningful looking. And there's probably like tons of different jellyfish out there. There's probably tons of different what a jellyfish actually looks like. There's probably lots of different types of jellyfishes. Just look at it. Just look at it. Marvel at how awesome it is. It's just so cool looking. God, I mean, uh, right, so let's. Excuse me. Oh, all right, let's let's see here. Really? All right, there we go. Huh. Let's do 0. Well, let's do 0. Let's do 0. Let's do 0. Soft body go. What? What is soft body go away? I wonder what that is. That's odd. I've never even heard of that. Yeah, so I can straighten it out really easily. Yeah, I just select all the points. Here you go. Okay, it doesn't want me to select more than one. Okay. More than one is not acceptable. There it goes. Totally straight. Complete straight line. So we start with that. And then we simply do a curve, and then we say an array. Like that. And then we do curve, fit curve, Bezier, and we don't do that, we do 1. There we go. Well, that's funny. Oh well. Look at that. There, look at that. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Ah, lost my viewer. Yeah, lost my viewer. Wah, wah, wah. It's alright though. Oh, I gotta stretch my legs. Yeah, so I've got a lot to do. I'm going to go ahead and do it. Oh yeah, there's a ton of stuff to do. Holy cow. Ugh, excuse me. Yeah, so I'm just looking at some more images. Wow, some people got bit really hard. They got stung by jellyfish. Wow. They got really messed up. Like their skin is like peeled off. Oh, that's horrible looking. Oh wow. Hmm. Wow, this jellyfish is giant. Wow. This man is like right up next to a jellyfish, and it's like this giant thing. Maybe it's just an optical trick, but it's pretty cool nonetheless. Do 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 do. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta think about this. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream, and then, well, actually, you know what? I could show you guys. I've got, I wanted to show you guys what I did with, my mallow. So I did finish him. It was all messed up. Okay, his hair was messed up. Everything was just messed up. Okay, and I found a lot of different things. Like, I don't know what happened the first time, but his hair, I had to create a different particle system. Look at this. The afro failed. I don't know what happened, but it just wouldn't work. None of this worked. I don't know what I did wrong. I don't know what type of thing I pushed on. Oh, that's probably it right here, the steps. Oh, that might have been it. See, that's probably it. The steps were all messed up. Here, let's turn that off. No, see, something went wrong. Something terrible went wrong with the whole thing. It just didn't want to work. Yeah, you know what? It just didn't work, and I was just really disappointed. And so I created another afro, and I moved on from that one. I'm like, I turned that off, and I did this one, and this one I figured out like the steps thing. This was what was crashing my computer. This, if you turn this up too much, there's serious problems with the rendering, and basically I just turned it down again. I didn't know what that was. I thought it was connected to the B spline. See, if I turn on the B spline, I thought that's what the steps meant, was with the B spline, not uh-oh. Oh no. Oh man, I didn't know I wasn't streaming right. Here, let me fix that. There it goes. Okay. Now we're streaming the right image here. Sorry about that. Yeah, I thought I was streaming the right image. Okay, here's the here. Okay, I'm sorry about that, guys. I should have checked first. So here's the afro failed, and yeah, it's just something messed up along the way. It was all bugged out. It wouldn't render right. I don't know what was going on. So I just started over again with the new afro. And this one looks way better. This one, I had to cut it, shape it, grow it. I had to do all sorts of little primping stuff. But it looks great. It looks natural. All natural. And I also did a node. You know, I did the here node. The here, is a material. So right here, this controls the roots. So the root should be the white. That should be the root. This is the root, the bottom. So the white is the bottom one, and this top one is Voronoi. The Voronoi takes from all of this randomly, and then it puts into the color. And this, the black is where the tips are at of the hair. So it would render out. Let me see if it would render. Let's just see for a second. I'm going to go ahead and turn it off to CPU so that we don't have to like load anything. I think it should work. The CPU should be okay because I'm streaming with the CPU, right? The CPU is, I'm using the CPU to stream with, so Hopefully it doesn't drop a whole bunch of frames. Okay, hopefully. Let's just hope that's not the case. Yeah, see, CPU takes a long time to render out. I mean, it's only at sample 2. I mean, come on. That's that's really slow. But I ended up with this. This is what my final rendering was, and it's just, it was really awesome. I can't render it out for you guys. As soon as I press the render button, it's going to cut out the stream and everything's going to mess up. So I can show you the final render, but this is just funny. I just love Bob Ross's hair. His hair was so funny. I was gonna paint a tree, a happy tree, but I don't know what a happy tree looks like. See, that's the problem. He always said in his videos, paint a happy tree, make the trees happy, and it's like, I don't know what a happy tree even looks like. Like, there's no such thing as happy tree, you know. There is such a thing as a happy face, so I picked a happy face, right? Maybe I should like draw like a tree in the background or something, so it's like a happy tree, a tree that has a big happy face on it. That would be really funny. Yeah, I mean, look at the hair. Look at how great it looks. I mean, it looks so much better than I was at first when I started this image. I thought I'm just gonna model the afro so that it's just basically a cartoony style afro. But I was like, no, I want to have hair. I want to get the hair on it. I always stayed away from the hair in Blender because hair in Blender was always super buggy. But I plotted through it. It bugged out on me a lot. I mean, it literally, I had to force quit my computer because it was so bugged out. It was just, I had to, not force quit. I mean, I had to like literally turn it off because it would just freeze up. So I had to sacrifice a lot to learn how to do that hair right here. But I think it was worth it. It looks so much funnier with like real hair rendering rather than modeled hair. Modeled hair just looks stupid. It just plain looks fucking stupid. I just don't even like it. I don't even think about modeling hair anymore. I just want to use a hair particle system. Blender's got a pretty cool hair particle system, so I'm just gonna keep on using that. Yeah, this whole series basically is gonna just be about art and creating little funny art pieces. Today I was gonna try to create a jellyfish, but I can see that it's gonna take quite a fantastic bit of time. And the problem with jellyfishes is how organic and fluid they are when they move. So that's really hard to recreate in a short amount of time. But I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to go ahead because I was thinking about creating book covers and stuff. So I was thinking about like underwater scenes. I was thinking somebody might want to buy like an underwater scene, as like a book cover or something, some sort of fantasy book. And my dog just peed on my couch right next to me. I just noticed that. Thanks, dog. Oh, you like to pee? I don't know why you have. Yeah, look at that. She really went after it. We were just literally walking outside, and she just now peed again on me, on my couch. That's really funny, dog. Thanks a lot, huh? I guess maybe she has nightmares. She's a really old dog. She's 11 years old, and I guess maybe she just has nightmares or something. Maybe she just can't help herself. She was sort of sleeping on me. I don't know. Not really, huh? Why you pee on me, huh? Why you do that? It's horrible. You've been doing that for the last year. Huh? Does that mean you're gonna die? Huh? Does that mean you're going out? Yeah, I don't think so. Anyways, I was just going to show you this. I was going to get to number 32 samples. Yeah, it looks great. I mean, I got the spotlight effect on him. I got a point light. I got a spotlight on him. A point light is good to like have like filler space, but a spotlight is even better because a spotlight like highlights areas. You can see how the area around him is highlighted. See how this like circle is around him? It's nice. I like the background is just like darkened out, but the problem with the spotlight was that it was from above, so so that his face was covered in darkness. And so the problem with that was that his face was covered in darkness. So I had to put a point light. You can see this point light right here in the bottom here in order to illuminate his face more, right? And now that his face is illuminated more, it's much nicer composition, much nicer area. I got these little blobs on the ground. This is all paint blobs that he's been painting on here. I just took these colors right from the painting so that they would match. I should probably put like a white blob on him because you always mix with white, right? Some artists are funny. I've watched painters before. Some painters don't even mix on their palette. They would actually just mix right on the canvas. They'll just mix their colors right there. Some artists only mix on their palette, and what they would do is actually they would wait until the canvas was sufficiently dry before they started painting more on it, so that they would just wait until. And but of course oil almost never dries, but some of these guys I would watch them, they'll paint really thin strokes, super thin, and then they'll just like blow on it until they think it was dry enough to paint, mix on their little canvas sheet, and then or their I guess this is a mixer board, or what the hell is this called? A palette. That's what I was calling a palette. They'll mix on there and then just paint another layer, paint more of it, and they would just take hours, just spend hours just fucking painting tiny little bits of layers at a time. So much work, like unbelievable. Like this Bob Ross guy, you know, I remember watching him as a kid, and he probably spent like 6 hours painting a painting, but it was only like 25-minute video or something like that, so it would always like skip ahead, and it was always really funny watching him because he'll be like laying down the foundation. He was one of those artists, he went from dark colors to highlight colors, okay? And there's two different ways you can do painting. You can go from highlight to dark or dark to highlight, and they both have a different type of effect, but he was always dark to highlight, okay? So he would be like laying down the foundation, all the dark colors. He'll be like, here's this river, and it's like all dark, you know, it's just like very basic looking, right? And then the camera would cut to him like painting, and it'll cut back, and like time would have passed, right? Probably like a couple hours. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna do the highlights now, right? Because it's all looking really basic shapes and stuff. Okay, I'm gonna do the highlights. So he goes back, and it cuts. And it had to have been like a couple hours of him painting, but it would cut and it would show the painting, and it would be like really good. And it's like, wait a second, wait a second, that's not possible. Like how it was only 2 seconds of him painting or 5 seconds of him painting, and then it would cut back to the painting. It was like all the highlights would be in there, and it'll just look so good. It's like, wait, you just skipped a whole bunch. You just skipped like 2 hours worth of work here. It was so funny about the guy. It was just like, how, like that doesn't make any sense because it just didn't, I didn't feel very good because my painting sucked compared to his, but I think as a kid, I didn't realize how many hours it would take to actually accomplish what he was doing. Many hours. And of course, the editing made it seem like 10 seconds. It made it seem like he just did it like instantly. But here it is. Here's my Afro Mallow. Here's my Bob Ross Mallow in all its glory, bringing you the joy of Blender. Because everybody loves Blender. Everybody loves it. Everybody needs it in their life. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to go ahead and get to work on this jellyfish. Excuse me. And I'm going to make sure that it works really well. So it's already 8 p.m. where I'm at. It's really hot out. I just don't like it. It's so hot. And I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. And it looks like my frames are dropping a lot. I mean, look at 74% frame rate drops. Like, that's crazy. I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and figure out what to do. I'm going to test the widget really quick. Alright. That works. Alright, the follow button works. Alright. Alright. I created those sound effects just for this. Alright, we're gonna test out donation. Oh man, thank you John for donating 75 bucks. Thank you so much. And we're gonna go ahead and test a bit. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you very much. And then I'm gonna test hosting. Host. Oh wow, nice. Thanks, Joseph. That's a lot of views. I only got one view, but Joseph's got 1,881 views. Wow, 1,804 viewers. My goodness. Yeah, there we go. Now we're cooking with fire. I don't know about him having cross-eyed. I don't know about that. I should probably rethink that. Alright, well that's it. Thanks, John, for 55 bucks. Man, I am rich today, man. I am making fat cash today. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. I had some fun. But that's pretty much it. Oh, and the chat is working, so that's working too. So that's good. Yeah, yeah. You know, I like Twitch. Actually, I like Twitch because Twitch is fun. You know, it's immediate. It's right there. You know, I don't have to like YouTube. You have to edit a video and you have to do all this stuff. But this is just immediate. This is just right away. You know, this is just a fun little platform. I kind of like it. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it. And thank you very much for watching. If you're watching later or whatnot.